Allez, c'est parti. Tout d'abord, comme il s'agit de pain perdu cuit au four, nous allons préchauffer le four à 400 degrés Celsius.
The high school and college students who are experimenting with LSD will be running many of our institutions and guiding public policy.
Now the communists are killing your sons in South Vietnam.
Sometimes even torture.
I said there was communism on college campuses. Now the liberals are admitting that there's communism on college campuses.
College students who are using LSD and marijuana today do not comprise a criminal class. They are not drug addicts.
Reply the teacher gave was, well, the student knows that tomorrow we may lose his head in Vietnam or by an atomic bomb. He's not too concerned about the possibility of damaging a few brain cells with a trip on
They're
Alex.
your best educated, your most creative, and your most courageous young people.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask.
And like it or not, they're going to build you a new civilization.
And you can see that it's absorbing it quite well here.
Hello, testing, 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 1, 2, 3, check, checking the mic, Christmas, testing, help, 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 testing. Alexa, what time is it?
It's noon.
Alexa, volume 8. Hey Santa, what time is it?
It's noon.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Henry's Kitchen, where today we're going to be making Henry's famous roast beef Christmas cookies. This is basically a sugar cookie But you can use whatever kind of stencil you want. The example that we're going to be using here is actually Santa, but we're going to be basing this one on my cat, Roast Beef, who's currently sleeping as usual. So the stencil that I'm using I got off the internet. It's basically just a picture of a cat. So you want an X-Acto knife, but I don't have that, but I'm just going to sort of cut around this. Actually, I'm going to need to take scissors and do something with that. But anyway, let's get into the history of Christmas and cookies. Quattro Head says, are they made out of real cat? No, that's probably something I should mention. This is in the shape of a cat, but there's no animal, no meat at all, actually. Lil Chef Live says, feeling better, Henry? Yeah, I am feeling better, and I'm very happy. I mean, it was like 2 weeks of having some kind of cold, and it was the third time it happened to me in the last 6 months, plus COVID. So I don't know if that means I'm immunocompromised or if I'm, approaching the end. But I feel better now, and there is some positivity there, because if you can be sick and then get better, it means something in your body's working. It could be from eating nutritious food. It's definitely not from sleeping, because I don't sleep very well. But sleep is extremely important. That's probably why my cat, Roast Beef, is going on being 19 years old, which is, I think, like 103 our time. So, that's the secret to life, and I don't have it. I'm basically losing at the survival of the fittest, or whatever. Evolution. Okay, so let's get back into this here. Dawn Marie says, you have enough to deal with just being a chef. Yeah. Being sick on top of it must be horrible. Okay. Yeah. The only saving grace is that I cook out of my kitchen in solitude without any other human contact. And that way I'm at least not spreading it, and I'm not receiving it from other people. Giraffe Guy has just resubscribed for 5 months. Thanks, Giraffe Guy.
Okay.
And Blue Sky Valley just subscribed. Thank you, Blue Sky Valley. We also have someone named Zaya Bobaya cheered 10 bits. Thanks, Zaya Bobaya. Game Master Flash has resubscribed. Thanks, Game Master Flash. Very appreciative. Thanks for joining us here. Let's make holiday or Christmas. These are Christmas cookies. If you celebrate a different religion, that's okay. Or if you celebrate no religion, that's okay too. Just know that these are Christmas cookies. So you won't be able to make these cookies and call it whatever your religion is. And there's no real reason for that other than the fact that Christmas tends to have a lot of these types of this particular type of cookie. Speed Devil X says, so they're just cookies. Yeah, but they're Christmas cookies. Ugly Assassin says, absolutely shocking. You're not a Michelin star chef. I'm not sure what that is. Michelin, I think, is a tire company. But if I'm missing something there, let me know. Also, Lucky Land says, why fight when you can sleep? Sun Tzu, probably. Yeah. It sounds like something that Sun Tzu would say. Okay. I hope everybody's feeling well and doing well. I'm going to have a quick sip of my coffee here. Got a lot to cover. By the way, this is not a fun recipe. I know it looks fun with the cute fat cat face and everything like that, but it's this is actually a lot of work. So don't, don't walk into this thing all smiling and thinking it's going to be a walk in the park. This is labor. So here we go. This is going to be taken from the Henry's Kitchen Cookbook Volume 2, which, by the way, there's a mistake in there already. And somebody reminded me in the chat while I was doing the sound check, the oven needs to be preheated for this, and I didn't even put it in the directions for the book. So I don't know if I should probably try to reprint it or what, but we've got the oven preheated to 400 degrees, so we're going to be ready to rock. This makes 6 cookies and serves 1 person. Or it could make 12 cookies and serve 2 people. But you'd have to double all the ingredients. Let's talk about roast beef cookies. The late Middle Ages were marked by famine, plague, and war, which significantly diminished the population of Europe. And between 1347 and 1350, the Black Death killed about 1/3 of all Europeans. While controversy and heresy within the Catholic Church paralleled the peasant revolts in the kingdoms. But then, cultural and technological developments transformed European society and ushered in the early modern period, wherein the Christmas cookies that we now know today were born. Thanks, Tech Queen Bee has resubscribed, and also Bag Times 6 cheered 100 bits. Thank you so much, Bag Times 6 _ Blue Sky Valley, I think we called out. So continuing on here, this is very long. When most people hear roast beef cookies, they think I'm putting roast beef into a sugary cookie. That's completely stupid. This is not, that recipe won't occur until probably volume 3. Avocado Halves just resubscribed. Thanks, Avocado Halves. Good to see you. These cookies are obviously named after my cat, Roast Beef, who is sleeping through the holidays. So let's talk a little bit about some of our ingredients that we're going to be using. We've got various things. We have 1 egg. That's going to be not the star of our show, but certainly a guest player cameo. And I've got our various dishes. I've got some flour, some confectioner's sugar, not to be confused with regular sugar or brown sugar. This is confectioner's sugar as made by a confectioner. And this is our stick of butter. I've got a brand new stick for us today, so we're going to start with a clean slate. Let's move all this stuff out of the way. And before we get started here, we have some song requests, and I thought since it's the holidays, it might be fun to start opening up with a festive song here and there. So let's go ahead and do that. I've always said that if you don't have something that you can do while you're waiting for either the oven to preheat or for for your stuff to cook or for it to chill in the refrigerator or whatever, you're going to have a lot of downtime in the kitchen. So hopefully you're doing gaming, or maybe watching TV is a good hobby I recommend. Playing guitar and singing songs is what I do to pass the time as we all wait for the inevitable to happen. But we have a request on the Discord. That was Bag Times 6 gifted a tier 1 sub to Bijou Queen. This is their first gift sub in the channel. That's very cool. See, these are terms that I would not have known at all 40 years ago. Munza, how about you listen? He's about to wait, I want to see that because it looked interesting. How about you listen to his? He's about to play Oh, and then it says, I dabble in alcoholism myself. That's Borsenvin. I was mixing up the two tweets because they went by scrolling, so I thought it said he's about to alcoholism. So I was confused. Our oven's ready. Oh, this is exciting. Speed Devil X says Chef S-Fan and his gang want to do another collab. I guess you're talking about Chef Emaru and Chef Bonnie Rabbit. That's amazing. That's fantastic. We had a wonderful time for Halloween making Frankenstein cookies.
Okay.
So maybe we can do that. Margot Weirdo has resubscribed. Thanks, Margot Weirdo. And Zaya Bobaya cheered 15 bits. And Vel Virtual just resubscribed for 2 months. Thanks, Vel Virtual.
Okay.
Quantifiable Pork just subscribed. That's good to have you, Quantifiable Pork. Let's rock. This is a song that was requested us on the Discord by Mist_Amanda, Mist_Amanda, which is a Christmas classic. I'm going to do the best I can to see the lyrics here. It's by Chuck Berry, who was an American national treasure, who wrote so many great songs that were ripped off by bands like the Beatles. Not ripped off, but covered, I guess you could say. But I'm going to do the best to do it justice. I believe Chuck Berry passed not too long ago. If I'm incorrect about that, I apologize to his family and his estate, and to him if he's still alive, I guess. But Guitar Doodle says, oven beep disturbed my cats. Oh, I'm very sorry about that. Well, it didn't disturb my cat Roast Beef, who may or may not be drifting into that great evermore. So hopefully he's all right there. Okay. Armadillo, I could be watching Ramsey, but I prefer watching you. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for joining us. I've heard a lot about Gordon Ramsay. I've watched a little bit of his stuff on YouTube. He makes a good beef Wellington, I guess. I don't know much about him, but you know, I've been cooking probably every bit as long or even longer than he has, so you know. I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but little residual cough there. I apologize. All right. I can't see the lyrics very well, but I'm going to do the best I can here. Wait, no, that sucked. What the fuck? Sorry, this is terrible. Oh, I'm in the wrong key. Out of all the reindeers, you know you got the mastermind. Run, run, Rudolph, ain't too far behind. Run, run, Rudolph, Santa gotta make it to town. Santa gotta hurry, tell him in the freeway down. Run, run, Rudolph, 'cause I'm feeling like a merry-go-round. Santa and a boy child, many of them are looking for. All I want for Christmas is a rock and roll electric guitar. Away went Rudolph, whizzing like a shooting star. Run, run, Rudolph, Santa's gotta make it to town. Santa's gotta hurry, 'cause it's ever down the freeway down. Yeah, run, run, Rudolph, feeling like a merry-go-round. Run, run, Rudolph, something about a merry-go-round. Wait, I think there's a last verse here. Said Santa and a girl child, what you gonna be in again? I got a little baby doll that can That's my best Chuck Berry imitation. Doped Silicon says, are the chords the same as Johnny B. Good? Yeah, actually, it's a little known fact that all the chords from the year 1958 were the same for every song. I'm not sure if that song's from 1958. Let's see, it should say here. Hey Santa, when did the song Run Run Rudolph come out?
Run, Rudolph, Run by Chuck Berry was released on January 1st, 1958.
Wow, that wasn't bad. Okay, well, look, I'd love to play guitar a little bit more, and I will later, but we got a lot of busy work to get to here. So let's get started. Our first order of business is we want to combine our butter and our sugar until it's combined. So we're going to take our bowl here. This is very dirty, actually. I'm sorry, I thought this was clean. I'm just going to give it a little wipe down.
Okay.
Maybe in the meantime you can check out my cat roast beef. I also want to thank the Toilet Destroyer has resubscribed for 4 months. Thanks, the Toilet Destroyer. Alright, I'm going to be done with this in just a sec. The problem is this is a completely different dish that we made last time. So I should have done this beforehand, but I think it was the stuffed mushrooms, which wasn't a dish that came out very good anyway, and I don't want to taint our cookies with the savory taste of our stuffed mushrooms. Bluska says they can't wait to learn a lot about cooking today. Yeah, well, you came to the right place. We're going to be making Henry's roast beef Christmas cookies. Not real roast beef, not real animals, but this is based on my cat Roast Beef, who is currently sleeping. Lifetime guarantee just subscribed. Thanks for joining us. Lifetime guarantee. This is called the work bowl, guys. That's cooking 101. We're going to take our work bowl, which can be pretty much any bowl. It's just got to be large. By the way, I'm growing my fingernails out for guitar, so I apologize if it looks a little unsightly. Thanks, Mark Lahorn, for resubscribing. We're going to be combining our 1 stick of unsalted butter. You just want to take it out of the package. I believe 1 stick, it's got the tablespoon information. This is 8 tablespoons. Hey Santa, how much is 1 stick of butter?
1 stick of butter is 8 tablespoons.
There we go. So Santa is a replacement for Alexa today, because it's a seasonal feature that they have as part of the Echo series on whatever, Amazon. Dragonborn King says the dirt under the nails adds flavor. Yeah, that's what I understand. I'm not sure, though. But, okay, let's see here. I think there might be some questions. Archmage Kale says, I noticed that your title says Henry's roast beef Christmas cookies. Are you making the cookies or is it roast beef? Oh, I see. Yeah, no, this is named in honor of my cat roast beef. Okay, so we're combining the egg. No, the butter and the sugar. So the sugar, we want I think we're taking 1 cup of our confectioner's sugar. Now, unfortunately, I don't have, oh, I do have these, of which probably the easiest math would be to take the 1/2 cup and do 2 of those. The one problem with this confectioner's sugar is it gets kind of all over the place. We've got 1, 2, that's a lot of sugar. You can do a replacement sugar if you're scared. Okay. I'm going to wrap this tightly because this is going to get all over the place if we don't do it correctly. Papa Seco cheered 100 bits. Thanks, Papa Seco. And Mark Lahorn resubscribed. So thanks for all the support, everybody. Lifetime Guarantee has subscribed as well. Okay, so I'm going to see if I have a rubber band. That's usually the best idea, but I do not. So we'll just sort of put this anywhere. All right, so we want to stir this up. I'll just go ahead and use one of these. Unfortunately, this butter is not melted, and I think I was supposed to melt it a little bit, so it might take a little while, but that's cool. I can get to some of your questions here. Speed Devil X wants to know my favorite type of pastry or sweet. I'm probably going to go with roast beef Christmas cookies. They're sugary and delicious, and they've got butter in them as well. Lots of butter, as you can tell. Boy, I'm hoping this kind of melts or something. Maybe if I just sort of break it up best I can. A lot of people, when I started introducing my cat roast beef to the YouTube series, accused me of sort of selling out by, because everybody knows that bringing a cat in there is just a cheap way to get more views. And they're absolutely right. That's exactly what I was doing. Cookie Party has resubscribed. Cookie Party says, I'll try to impress my family at Christmas dinner with your recipes, but I'm not as talented as you, so fingers crossed I won't make them sick. Yeah, well, as long as you follow the recipes exactly, you should be okay. Thanks, Cray Bob has resubscribed. Thanks, Cray Bob. Okay, so these are getting pretty well mixed. I'm liking the way this is going here. The next order of business is we're going to crack 1 egg over the side of bowl. We're going to add it to the concoction, and we're going to beat it until it's fully beaten. So let's go ahead and take this. You might get some shell in there. That's completely okay. People freak out way too much about shell. Valish just subscribed. Thanks, Valish. All right. Who's that? Eros 1029 has resubscribed. That's amazing. I guess there were 1,028 Eroses before Eros 1029. But Eros, you're the one that I appreciate out of all of those hundreds of Eroses. I don't know how that works. I think it's something like that. Let's stir our egg into our concoction. Guitar Doodle says, shouldn't you know how to make this? Why are you referencing your own cookbook? I'll tell you, it's been, I think it was 2019 that I devised this recipe. And as you get older, the old noggin doesn't work as well as it did back in the day, and I don't want to take a chance on missing some important ingredient like butter or something, you know. Dope Silicon says, how do you maintain, wait, I've got to go back here, such an athletic body after eating these excellent treats? What is your exercise routine? I go for a walk every morning, and I go to this bodega around the corner where I pick up important food items like sugar and eggs. I wouldn't say that I'm super fit, but I'm definitely probably in the 10th percentile of Americans. Foul Hat Early Worths, it's a pleasure to look people making food. It's a fucking almost nightmare watching people mixing meat with sugar. Yeah, oh, I agree. Meat and sugar, I think, is popular in Morocco and maybe various parts of Africa. But we don't do it much here. But we're starting to. You'll start seeing things like bacon wrapped candies and stuff. Okay, so this looks pretty well beaten, I would say. Yeah, candied bacon, Kathy says. Bluska says, am I an athlete? I mean, I don't know if there's a category of athlete that for the kitchen, but I guess I'd be whatever the equivalent to that is. Okay, I try to answer the questions, but I get distracted, and we've got a little bit of work to take care of here. So the next thing is we're going to start introducing flour into our bowl. I've got a jar of flour here. We're going to probably use a fresh cup because that one is tainted with the sugar. But we're going to introduce flour slowly and surely and with finesse. Eventually it's going to become nice and doughy, and we're going to be ready to lay it out on a floured work surface for it to firm. Okay, a lot of information there. Let's see here. We've already used that one. I have the 1/4 cup left. And how much flour? We need 1.5 cups of flour. That's a lot. And if you have irritable bowel syndrome, you can use the gluten-free. But this is 1/4. So, hey Santa, how many 1/4 of a cups of flour are we going to need to make 1.5 cups?
Here is what I found. 1,800 grams of flour is equivalent to about 14 cups of flour.
Okay. 14 cups? Yeah, Guitar Doodles is right. Santa is drunk or something. I don't know. Does anybody know? All right, we're going to have to do... I guess I'm going to do, if we have 1.5 cups of flour and we have 1/4 of a cup, 4/4 of a cup would be 1. 6. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of 6s. Let's do that. It doesn't really matter, but you want to be at least sort of in the ballpark. So we're going to put in 6 1/4 cups of flour for an overall goal of 1.5 cups. Let's see if anybody's got any questions here. Munzu says, if I don't have flour, can I use flour spelled W-E-R? Yeah, I always wondered what the relationship was there. But I think the answer is no. Hacklin says, do you know that Amazon is listening to you all the time with Alexa? Probably create some AI to replace your show. I would be worried. Well, it's not Alexa anymore. It's Santa listening to me all the time. Does anybody know how many of these I did? Can we roll back the tape or something? I have no idea how many of these I just put in there. 7? Okay. 47. Okay. Now, guys, I've said this before. It's very important when you're taking an ingredient and putting it into your work bowl to count how many measurements you're putting in there. Otherwise, you're going to get the problem that we have right now. So I'm going to start stirring this and see if the consistency looks about right. Do a quick check in on our cat roast beef there, still sleeping. Here we go. Yeah, I think this is way too much flour, unfortunately. And I don't think I have any more eggs, so I can't really fix it that way. But we're gonna muddle through, as the song goes. You just want to beat this. Normally, I would say this is probably about a 40-minute beating session. I probably won't do that much, but I'm going to definitely try to get it firm like it says. It says that we should eventually it should be nice and doughy, and we're going to lay it on a floured surface. It's getting doughy, for sure. I don't really like this whisker because it catches all the stuff inside it. But this is working. Okay. Yeah, see, that's not good. Shit. If anybody out there has experience with whiskers, let me know if there's a way to avoid that happening, because it's very annoying. It makes me want to just go back to the fork. But the whisker is supposed to be the way to go. All right. Actually, it's not a good idea to eat the cookie dough because it's got raw egg in there. When I was a little kid, my brother and I had a babysitter named Rosa, and she used to make cookies, and she used to let us eat the dough, and we liked it because it had sugar and everything, but my brother wound up getting salmonella because of the raw egg. And there was another time that she actually, I guess she wasn't familiar with the product Play-Doh, but she tried to make cookies out of that, and those were terrible. They were salty. Everyone typed Forson says, Henry, I love my new job. Let's see. That's great. Congrats. Everyone typed Forson says, I've opened 3 birthday cards, and I'm already $150 up. I love being a postman. Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I'm glad you finally found a job that you like. It's very important to employ yourself or occupy yourself in a way that not only helps society, but also helps you grow as an individual. All right. Our oven is preheated. We have our dough here. I think it's time to start making cookies. Lay out on a floured work surface to firm. What I have here is a cookie sheet. We're going to put a little bit of flour on top of it. This is filthy. So I'm going to go ahead and use some aluminum foil. Trying to retrain myself not to use the term tin foil, because that's apparently problematic nowadays and it's dated, and I try to keep up with what the kids are doing. Okay, so we're out of tin foil, unfortunately. which is bad. And I don't know how that happened because I don't know that we've been using that much. I feel like I just bought some, but we'll go ahead and throw this away. You might be able to use this for something. If you feel bad about throwing it away, it could be, you could use it to water your plants, or maybe a giant straw or something. But, all right, let's put our flour down with our 1/4 cup. All right, I think that's enough flour. Let's do, sorry about all the downtime here. All right, there's our floured surface. We're gonna lay this down. Actually, I might have messed up. Now that I think about it, that wasn't what I was supposed to do. But we're gonna just sort of go with it here. Let's take our dough and we're gonna lay it out, and we're gonna roll it into 1/8 inch thickness, and we're gonna put our cat head stencil over it. So that should be exciting. Let's see. I'm glad we've got the floured surface because this is a little moist, which is gonna make it difficult to work with. But this is good. Let's try to absorb as much of that flour as we can with our ball. Let's see if anybody's got a question. Robens says, Herney, what's your #1 tip for baking? Patience, I would say, and attention to detail. There's a name that I can never see because for some reason it's written in a color that matches the background, but they're asking, sugar is very unhealthy. Can I replace the sugar with cocaine? Well, I think cocaine is affectionately known as sugar in some circles, or I've heard it referred to as euphemisms like snow or whatever. It's not such a ridiculous question. In the 1920s and 30s, cocaine was part of Coca-Cola and probably part of the sugar cookies that they would make too. But then it started becoming associated with ne'er-do-wells, and the government literally turned on it for no reason. Crobloons has resubscribed. I don't have a cat head stencil. Could I use a marker or a pen to draw the cat heads and then cut around them? Yes, you could do that. Be very careful when you do that, though, that when you cut around them, don't include, if you use a Sharpie, don't include that ink, because that ink in your cookie will kill you. And that's not an exaggeration. All right. I'm going to go ahead and flatten this out. We want 1/8 of an inch. we're going to do this right here. Shit. Damn. Oh, fuck. Are you there? Is everybody there? I don't see my tape measure. So I'm going to have to guesstimate what 1/8 of an inch is. Hey, Santa, what is 1/8 of an inch?
0.125 inches is about 0.0104 feet.
Okay. So, Gaming Jacob just resubscribed. Thanks very much, Gaming Jacob. Alright, this is coming along. It's breaking up in a very unfortunate way, which sucks, but I think that's because it's still a little bit too gooey or something. You know what? Oh, never mind. Oh yeah, you know what? We're in luck. I'm gonna take this off. I have something called parchment paper, which is gonna work just as well as the aluminum foil. So let's do a little shifting around here. First things first, we're gonna have to start making cookies. And we're having a problem.
Oh, hi.
Wow, Blam Tagus just gifted 5 subs. Thanks, Blam Tagus. Alright, this is enough nonsense here. Let's start getting down to business. This is supposed to be 1/8 of an inch. I don't know, it looks a little bit thicker to me, but we're gonna do it. We want 6 cookies out of this. They might end up being a little bit big or whatever, but all right, that's our dough. If you're just joining us, we're making Henry's roast beef Christmas cookies. Thanks, Teeny Armpit Guy has subscribed. Thanks there. And thanks, Guitar Doodles, for cheering 2 bits. Hilbert Hotel says, if this recipe is for 1, can I just make 1 cookie with that? Yeah, I suppose you could. Parasitosis, I use my fingernail, which is about 1/2 of an inch. That's good. Actually, that's a good idea. Probably about that. Okay. Let's take our stencil here. I'm going to need a pair of scissors. If you're just joining us, we are making Henry's roast beef Christmas cookies based on my cat roast beef, or in honor of my cat roast beef, who's very, what is that word I'm trying to think of? Lethargic. Something that happens to old people and old animals. But we're doing this in honor of him because he's been a good soldier throughout his life. He's done some good things. I remember in his early days, he would bring in dead birds from outside and leave it as a gift. I suppose that they do that because they're trying to show gratitude for all the times that you feed them, but they're getting it wrong for sure, because it wasn't very fun. I'm glad he doesn't do that anymore. Okay, let me scroll down here. Okay, Erotica Reading Rabbi says, could we use scissors for more chopping in the kitchen? They look safer than knives. I suppose you could. Sanus Florida Man says he was trying to make turducken. Yeah. Beelzebub says my cat killed my hamster and left it on my pillow for me. Oh yeah, that's them. They have weird little things that they do like that. Okay, so let's start making cookies. We're gonna put our stencil on there. I'm gonna grab a knife. I don't want it to be too sharp because I don't want to hurt myself. So let's just use, I think we could probably get away with using the butter knife.
Okay.
But what we're doing is we're cutting around it. Regularly Consume Water has just resubscribed for 7 months. And there's a message there. Also, Keo607 has resubscribed. Hello, Henry. Glad to catch another stream. I have a question. If I do not have a cat named Roast Beef, can I use my dog instead named Corned Beef? Wow. Corned Beef is a damn good name for, I would say, just about any animal. And the answer to that is a resounding yes. Make your own. But, you know, when you go on the internet to find your stencil, you're going to look for a dog one as opposed to a cat one, which is what I have here. That's really the only difference. And if you can find one that looks a little bit like your animal, then that's even better. Okay, so we've cut around, and now we're going to use our parchment paper here. Roll this out. And this should rip. so. And now this is going to be a little tricky, but watch. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit here. We want to take the part that we've just cut out or excised. Oh boy. This is not going smoothly, but that's okay. Shit. All right. You know what? We're going to do a little troubleshooting here. I don't want this to mess us up. I'm going to just sort of emulate. Oh, and I've got frickin' tinfoil all over this. You do not want to eat that. I don't know what happened here. This isn't coming out very good. And it's pissing me off. Got more tinfoil in that. I did all the directions exactly correct. All right, I'm going to take this. Make sure there's no tinfoil on it. I'm going to place it over, not on the ink side, but I'll put it on this side of the paper. And I'm just going to start doing these sort of manually, like this. It's really just ears on a circle. If you want to see what we're going to be ending up with here, we've got, those are Santa cookies, of course, but ours are going to be cat cookies. There we go. That's what we're going to do. Oh, we need to get our stencil back. Let's peel it off. The problem is it's not, it's a little too sticky, but let's just keep going here. We might not make 6 cookies. We might only make 4. I'm going to use more flour. I think that's going to be the secret here. Okay, so a little bit change of direction. What we're going to do here is we're going to make circles and we're going to add ears. The stencil thing is not cooperating with us today, but so much of what you do in the kitchen is improvisation. Okay, Anonymous gifted 0240 subs. So thank you very much, Anonymous. That's very nice of you. And Keho607 resubscribed. All right. We're well on our way here. As long as we're not wasting our stuff. E-Kunks just gifted 5 subs. Wow, thanks, E-Kunks. That's very kind of you. Thanks for joining us. It's good to see you. All right. If you're doing this at home, I'd like to see how yours is coming. Obviously, I've been doing this a long time, so I don't want you to feel bad if yours looks like shit. But, you know, it's all a learning process. That was Dr. Hippie just subscribed. Thanks, Dr. Hippie. Glad to have you on board here. We are making roast beef cookies in honor of my sleeping cat. Roast beef. Does not seem very excited about this festive situation, which is a little bit disappointing, but whatever. All right, we're getting to the last bit. So we're going to have at least 4 cookies here, which is going to be nice. I think that's all we have in our example pick. You know, you could tell that there's some on the outside. But also, guys, these example picks are always done in a studio with professional photography. They use Photoshop and actors, and they have coffee on the set, and everybody's working very hard to make those things look as awesome as possible. So I don't want you to get too hung up on the example pick and think that that's what yours is supposed to look like. Also, they're doing Santa, we're doing cats. I think this is actually a better method. Blugsa says, is the coffee free? Yeah, when they do these photo shoots for food photography, I've been on them a couple of times. Unlimited coffee. That's one of the perks. But the negative is that they pay you under the table. It's very unfortunate how much fucking tinfoil is on this. I want to apologize about the language too. I've had a couple people ask why. Sometimes I'll let a F-bomb slip or a shit bomb or one of those. But the reason is that, look, the kitchen is hard. And I know, I'm not saying that I'm similar to people who have fought in wars and stuff, but I'm sure that in the trenches, in the foxholes, there was a lot of foul language being used, and in a weird way, the kitchen is probably one of the most dangerous places you're ever going to be. There's fire, there's knives, the threat of injury by either flame or sharp objects, or even just public humiliation and depression. These are not things that the average person can just handle. And yeah, every once in a while, I'm sorry if it ruins your image of somebody, but there are going to be there's going to be some language that's going to slip out there. Okay, so let's go ahead and throw this away. Our cookies are looking good. I believe the next step is going to be to put these in the oven, but let me double check. I'm going to rinse off here. Roll out the dough. We've done that. Put the cat head cookies in the oven for 18 minutes. To make 15 cookies, you're going to double that time to about 25 minutes. Ian a Nutshell has subscribed. Thanks. Good to see you, Ian a Nutshell. Finally getting a little moment here to have a sip of my coffee. What do we got here? Coca Parasat says, hey Henry, I followed your whiskey barrel tutorial and they turned out great. Glad to hear. I was almost surprised when my friend told me my bakery literally looked like shit. They like to joke around a lot with you. Yeah, no, my whiskey barrels, I had a lot of YouTube comments, people saying it looked like shit. I think they meant literal shit. Like, I don't think they meant it didn't look like it tasted good. I think they just, they looked like logs of shit. So don't feel offended by that. That's sort of the way that they're supposed to look. S. Martinez 173 has resubscribed. Thank you very much, S. Martinez. And Archmage Kale says, my 4-year-old niece and my 64-year-old grandma are watching the stream. And now my grandma can't stop saying fuck over and over. Stop swearing, Henry. Oh, okay. So I thought that was a good thing that she was saying that, but maybe it's not good. I apologize. Everyone type Forsen says roast beef is literally Batman. Yeah, no, these look a little bit Batman-ish, but when they are in the oven, they should start taking on a little bit more of a cat sort of a image. Okay, so we're going to put this in the oven for 18 minutes. Hey Santa, set timer for 18 minutes.
Oh, on dancer, on dancer. Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you said it's time. Oh, set a timer. I've got it. Yes. 18 minutes starting now.
Okay.
Santa is definitely drunk. Das Beermeister 92 has subscribed to you. Thanks, Das Beer 92. Hey, Santa, why do you have an English accent?
I only have this accent for your country. However, in different countries, I may sound a bit different.
Oh, that's very interesting. I didn't know that. Wonder why the English accent in America. Maybe because he's making the conscious decision to sound like he's from a foreign country because it's more interesting. Cyanish, do you think my wife and kid will come back if I cook like you? Absolutely. I've said this before. The way into a woman's stomach is through her heart. And that's how you're going to get her back. Elowith says, how will you be celebrating Christmas this year? Very similar to the way I do every year. I like to put on some slow music and sit there with my cat, roast beef. And we look at pictures of old girlfriends and drink eggnog, usually spiked. And we think about this year and how in the beginning of the year we thought that it was going to be so much better than last year, but it turns out to be just the same. And that's okay. Sometimes change is bad. Alexa, or no, hey Santa, how much time left on the timer?
You have 16 minutes left on your 18-minute timer.
Okay, 16 minutes. Well, we've got time to do some more songs, and I've definitely gotten some requests here. So, what do we got here? Oh, okay. This is a song that was requested by Kai Rosa, which I had never heard before. Erotica Reading Rabbi says, do you have an eggnog recipe? I do not, but that's a great, great idea. Let's do that. I will do that. Thanks, Erotica Reading Rabbi. This is a fun song. It's a little bit of a punk song. Kai Rosa requested it. I had never heard it, but it's by a very famous band called The Kinks, led by the famous Ray Davies, I believe. And I'm going to try to do this song. I won't be able to sing it as high as he does, but... When I was small, I believed in Santa Claus. Thought I knew it was my dad. And then I wound a stocking at Christmas, hoping my presents and I'd be glad. But the last time I played Father Christmas, I stood outside a department store. A gang of kids came over and mugged me. They knocked my reindeer to the floor and said, hey, Father Christmas, give us some money. Don't mess around with those silly toys. We'll beat you up if you don't hand it over. We want your bread, so don't make us annoyed. Give all the toys to the little rich boys. Don't give my brother or Steve off an outfit. Don't invite him with a cuddly toy. We don't want Jigsaw or Monopoly money. We only want the real McCoy. Father Christmas, give us some money. Don't mess around with those silly toys. We'll beat you up if we don't hand it over. We want your bread, so don't make us annoyed. But give my daddy a job, cause he needs one. He's got lots of mouths to feed. And if you got one, I'd take a machine gun, so I can scare all the kids on the street. Father Christmas, give us some money. We got no time for your silly toys. We'll beat you up if you don't hand it over. We want your bread, so don't make us annoyed. Give all the toys to the rich little boys. yourself a Merry, Merry Christmas. Have yourself a good time. But remember the kids who got nothing while you were drinking down your wine. Father Christmas, give us some money. We got no time for your silly toys. We'll beat you up if you don't have a over. We'll beat you up, so don't make us annoyed. Give all the toys to the little rich boys. All right, Kairosa requested that one. 1977, I believe that song came out by the Kinks. Christmas song with a cynical edge to it. The lyrics are good. Go look up the lyrics because I really botched them up. Let's see here. Lord Dick on Manwoody has resubscribed. Tier 1 for 6 months. Good to have you. Thanks. Lord Dick on Manwoody says, hope you have a melancholy Christmas. I think I will. And Das Biermeister has subscribed as well. 62. Or no, 92, sorry. Some other songs. Hey Santa, how much time left on the timer?
You have 11 minutes left on your 18-minute timer.
Okay, so here's one that's not really a Christmas song, but it was requested to us by... The Magic Turtle. But it's a song that I remember very well from my youthful days, and it really spoke to me because it's about being in love in an unrequited relationship where you love that person but they don't love you, and you see them at the supermarket or something and you're too shy to talk to them, so you run away, and that's why they wind up going with another person to make their partner. So I don't know if that's what this song is about, but it's a song by Air Supply, and I'm going to share it with you right now. I'm lying alone with my head on the phone, thinking of you till it hurts. I know you hurt too, but what else can I do? Tormented and torn apart. I wish I could carry your smile in my heart for times when my life seems so low. It would make me believe what tomorrow would bring, 'cause today doesn't really know. Doesn't really know. I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I knew you were right, believing for so long. I'm all out of love. What am I without you? I can't be too late to say that I was so wrong. I want you to come back and carry me home, away from these long, lonely nights. I'm reaching for you. Are you feeling it too? Does the feeling seem oh so right? And what would you say if I called on you now and said that I can't hold on? There's no easy way. It gets harder each day. Please love me or I'll be gone. Little tip here, if you tell a girl, please love me, it doesn't end the way that you'd like it to. I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I know you were right, believing for so long. I'm all out of love. What am I without you? I can't be too late to say that I was so wrong. Ooh, what are you thinking of? 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 Hey Santa, how much time left?
You have 7 minutes and 30 seconds left on your 18-minute timer.
Okay. Definitely not AK just subscribed, as well as Cosmonaut has resubscribed. Thanks, Cosmonaut. And JV's Tech shared one bits. Thank you very much, JV's Tech. And Lord Dick on Mamwoody, I think we were caught up there. All right, so we have 7 minutes. All right, this is a song that I tried to do when I was sick, and it didn't go well, and I felt bad because someone named Dallas from the Discord requested this one. I'm going to try to do it again, and I hope it's better, because it's a beautiful song called Joanne by Michael Nesmith that you might remember from the band The Monkees. And I had never heard it before, but it's a great song, and I'm going to try to do justice to it because I really feel like I disgraced the entire Nesmith estate and family with my horrible rendition of the song when I was sick, and I'm going to try to do it right here. I can always never get the right note. Her name was Joanne, and she lived in the meadow by a pond. And she touched me for a moment with a look that spoke to me of her sweet love. Then the woman that she was drove her on with desperation, and I saw as she went a most hopeless situation for Joanne. Can't get that. For Joanne and the man and the time that made them both run. All right, I did it in a bad key there. I'm going to try to do it up here and see if this is better. We'll pretend it's a key change because I really want to try to do this. She was only a girl, and I knew that well, but still I could not see that the hold that she had was much stronger than the love she felt for me. But staying with her and my little bit of wisdom broke down her desires like a light through a prism into yellows and blues and a tune that I could not have sung. I don't remember the melody for the bridge, but I'm gonna just do that thing where they talk through it and it'll sound dramatic. Though the essence is gone, I have no tears to cry for her, and my only thoughts of her are kind. Her name was Joanne, and she lived in the meadow by a pond. And she touched me for a moment with that look that spoke to me of her sweet love. Then the woman that she was drove her on with desperation, and I saw her as she went, a most hopeless situation for Joanne and the man and the time that made them both run. For Joanne and the man and the times that made them both run. I did the best I could. It wasn't, okay. I guess my best wasn't good enough. Menden LOL has subscribed. Thanks, Menden LOL, for subscribing. That's interesting, those last two lines. For Joanne and the man and the time that made them both run. It makes it sound like maybe it's a time, the timing was off. It was the right person, but the wrong time. But then the next line, I don't know if this is a typo, but it says, for Joanne and the man and the times that made them both run. Maybe it was the times, and it wasn't appropriate for a man to be with a woman from her demographic. I don't know if she was from the meadow and he was from the city perhaps, or maybe he was much too old, because he does say something about she was only a girl. And during olden times, it was considered inappropriate for an old man to be with a young girl. Now, of course, it's fine, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really keeping up, but I'm having a little bit of a fly problem. I think we've got some time here. What else do we got here? Father Christmas. Okay. Hey, Santa, how much time left?
You have 1 minute and 50 seconds left on your 18-minute timer.
Well, this song's much longer than that, but I don't want to do all of it because it's a very long song. But it was requested on the Discord by Jay Ship, who has been requesting some songs that are right up my alley because they're from the time. This is a Leonard Cohen song, but it was actually redone by a guy named Jeff Buckley, who I think they're making a movie about. And I think I'm more familiar with the Jeff Buckley version, although I love Leonard Cohen, but I think Jeff Buckley sort of made it a huge hit. Joy Juice says, do you know how to play Crazy Little Thing Called Love? Yeah, I think I could probably do that one. Maybe we'll do that at the end, if I can remember. Thanks. I'm just going to do a couple of verses. Baby, I've been here before. I know this room and I've walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew you. Yeah, I've seen your flag on the Marble Arch. And listen, love is not a Miss Victory March. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Leonard Cohen version lyrics are throwing me a little bit. Hey Santa, stop. Maybe there's a God above. As for me, all I ever seem to learn from love is how to shoot at someone who outdrew you. Yeah, it's not a complaint that you hear at night. It's not the laughter of someone who's seen the light. It's a cold, it's a broken hallelujah. 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 There's like 50 words in every line, and that's throwing me. Hallelujah. Notorious Gerald says, I think the movie Shrek made this more popular than Jeff Buckley. Yeah, but I think that the movie Shrek used it because of what Jeff Buckley did. It became a very popular song for acoustic guitar players at parties to sing if they were trying to woo a young lady. Okay. Or a young man if they were interested in that. Beelzebub gifted a tier 1 sub to Esitis. So thank you very much, Beelzebub. Oh, before I go further here, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick song that I think I'm just going to call Gratitude. And it goes out to all the people who have helped us ever since Henry's Kitchen started back in May in the live stream platform. This is a song that says thank you to the moderators, the technical helpers, the streamers that have helped spread the word. I always like to give a special shout out to Nim, without whom I wouldn't even be doing this, because Nim talked me into getting my own channel and talked me through it and had me on his broadcast and everything. So thanks, Nim, and I want to do more collaborations with you if possible. We're just separated by a lot of distance, but not by technology.
Okay.
Purple donut filling is a fruit gifted a tier 1 sub to everyone type Forsen. Thanks very much. Purple donut filling is a fruit. And Omega JFB has subscribed to you. Thanks, Omega. Thank you very much for joining us here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this song, which is a thank you to everyone who's helped. Falcon and Dingo Bop, Dumb Beef and Hot Bear 1110, Do Dingle Da Goggle, Dr. Flanges and Bacchus, and also Shane, yes, Beelzebub, Daisy Blossom and Sir Doom, Bumble Vision and the LGX, Pilskman Melon 95, Key Change, Dim Forsen and Moon Moon, XQC and Emeroo, S-Bend and Bonnie Rabbit too, and don't forget Quanto. I know I'm leaving some people out, but I want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you guys. That song, by the way, I didn't write that. That was written, the melody was written by Roger Miller. It's a song called, oh fuck, I gotta get the cookies out of the thing. I forgot. Hold on. I had a feeling I was forgetting something. Okay, they're a little bit cooked, pretty well cooked here, but not bad. I'm gonna open the door because I've got a situation where there's some smoke happening here. Hold on a second. Let's do a little comparison to roast beef. Roast beef is up and looking good. If we compare him to our cookies, we're not too far off here. All right, next up, we are going to do the final step. We're going to put these cookies on a serving plate. Serving plate is just a plate that's slightly bigger than a regular one. Oh no, we got to do the frosting first. That's what we're going to do. Let's talk about frosting a little bit. For the icing, I guess they call it icing, we're going to mix 1 cup of powdered sugar, which we have, with 1 cup of water. And we're going to stir this for about 40 minutes. We're not going to do it that much, but so you want to grab a regular bowl. We're going to move these cookies out of the way. I'll move them out for now. And, ow, that's hot already. Let's start making icing, you guys. How do we do this? Oh yeah, we're gonna need our confectioner's sugar, which I had put away, but we've got more here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just sort of eyeball this. Let's do that. Along with, what does it say? It wants 1 cup of powdered sugar. That's too much. 1/2 cup of water. So it wants half of whatever you just did. So I'll do 1 more of these. And I'll do 1 of these of water. it should turn into icing. We just need to stir it around with a fork or something like that. Now it says do it for 40 minutes. I'm not going to do that. That's ridiculous. It just occurred to me, shit, I think there's supposed to be milk in this and I left it out of my recipe. It needs a thickener of some sort because this is not happening. I think we're probably going to maybe, no, not flour. I think we're going to use some butter. More butter, but I'm going to actually put this maybe in the microwave. I'm not going to use all of it, but let's use maybe a tablespoon of it. Put the rest back. And I'm going to put this in our microwave, which was bought by somebody named Too Much Junk Food back in Halloween when we found out that the old one was not only shitty, but also I think maybe haunted or something. And I believe Jolly Austin 1 also contributed to that, so I appreciate that. Kid Kicking Robot says that's going to be some sweet ass frosting. Yeah, frosting is basically just sugar. Borsenvin says this type of kitchen mats are exhausting. Yeah, no, if cooking were easy or if it were fun, they wouldn't call it cooking. Jean Purley says, isn't that egregious? Yeah, it is. I don't know what you're referring to, but it is. Okay, let's put our butter here. I'm hoping this is going to thicken stuff up a little bit, because so far it ain't looking like frosting. I might put maybe a little bit more. Let's put much more of that in there. That's going to thicken it up. I was thinking you could do flour as well. Or maybe an egg. Maybe egg white could do the trick. But no, I mean, yeah, this isn't doing it either. If I can get some of that from the outside there. Yeah, I'm going to put just a little bit of flour. I'm not going to go crazy. That should thicken it. There we go. I think that's what it needed, was a thickener. Kathy says that would call it easing as opposed to icing. Yeah, if it were easy, they would call it easing. I think we have some new people here joining us. Purple Donut Filling is a fruit, gifted a tier 1 sub to everyone type Forsen. Thanks. Purple Donut Filling is a fruit. Alright, I'm getting tired of this icing situation. So let's move on to our next order of business, which is to find a Ziploc bag, which I have here. This is a Ziploc style bag. It's not from Ziploc the company, but that's okay. They've patented their technology and they've licensed it to Signature Select to be able to use it legally, hopefully. All right, let's take our icing or frosting, whatever you want to call it, depending on what region you're from, and let's pour it. I got damn flies in here, which sucks. Let's pour it into the Ziploc bag. And our cookies should be just about dry by now. Where is, okay. Not dry, but I mean, they should be cool. Let's go ahead and lay these down. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be mimicking the face that we had on there. Let's see where roast beef went. All right, so our cat, roast beef, still sleeping. Slightly different view. As a matter of fact, I've got my stocking there. Maybe we can make him look a little bit more Christmassy. There we go. That stocking, by the way, was crocheted by my friend Mark Cohen, who's also the same person who made the Henry's Kitchen Ants game. That's just a little bit of trivia for you in case there's a test afterward. All right. What we will be doing now is we have a bag of our icing. We're going to do a little trick that my grandmother taught me when she was in the joint, where you can make a literal frosting gun out of your Ziploc bag. It's a little tricky, but here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to cut just the tip off of the edge here. Like so. So now we should be able to make little faces. Now this, see, the frosting is not frickin', it's not happening. It's not thick. No matter how much stuff I put in there, it's really a drag. It's really pissing me off because this is an important part. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to sort of frost all over these faces here, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some actual frosting that I have left over from one of our other dishes. But this is still going to be some goodness. It's sugar. Okay, let's put that aside. Hang on real quick. We can look at roast beef for a second. I should have some frosting here. Seeing it. I think this is probably what we used. I don't think this is gonna work. Caffey just gifted 5 subs. Thanks, Caffey. And Purple Donut Filling is a Fruit gifted a tier 1 sub to everyone type Forsen. Very cool. So we're gonna basically do eyes and nose. I'm gonna be a little bit lazy about this. I know that I have another frosting situation somewhere. Look, at the end of the day, we're going to be eating this. Hold on, I'm all out of that. Oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for. I've got this, and you put, what you do is you put an attachment over it. Yeah, this is the way you do it. What the hell am I doing? I'm sorry. That was sort of a waste of time. All right, let's get in close here. I want you to look at what I'm doing, and I want you to really pay attention. We'll go to roast beef, which is my cat. You can see he's got a very serious expression. Eyes, nose, mouth with a little white mustache. It's not coming out. There we go. Okay, that's the mouth. And I'm doing this upside down for your benefit. But I think that kind of captures it. If you're doing this at home and it looks like shit for some reason, just remember I've been doing this a long time. I'm going to make a smiley one now. What we're trying to emulate is a festive Christmas sort of looking thing like that. As a matter of fact, why don't we go ahead and do that nose the way that they've got it. Well, there's a couple things. For one thing, the eyes are circles. This is difficult to work with, to say the least. But let's do a little bit more elaborate nose here. That one didn't come out nearly. Yeah, when you try to get too fancy, you're going to end up getting too much on there. So this one needs work. That's not bad. Okay, so we're going to let those cool just a little bit. Let's see if anybody has any questions. Hoi Polloi says, I'm a professional baker since I was 3 and I've never made something that looked this good. Wow, that's very, very kind of you, and also to be complimentary, because a lot of people in our business don't always give it up for our peers, and I think that's very cool of you to say that. Archmage Kale says, I bought your apron from your merch store and wore it at cooking class today, and I got bullied and pushed around because of it. Yeah, I mean, you know, I've been wearing this for years, but I wear it at home. I don't usually wear it in public unless I'm shopping. But everyone type Forson says, my wife went on a business trip to Point Magoo and brought back similar cookies. Oh, okay. Point Magoo, of course, a naval base in on the west coast of California. Point Magoo. Purple Donut Filling as a Fruit says, do you have to wear pants while wearing the apron? Absolutely not. You know, if you're at home, you don't have to wear anything under your apron. Moonzoo says, I don't have red frosting. Can I use ketchup? It's going to be savory, but no, some ketchups are sweet as well. Dagweenus Squeen says, me and my wife's boyfriend will have a great time baking this recipe. Thanks, Henry. Awesome. That's awesome to hear. It sounds like you're going to have a whole family situation there, which would be cool. Raziel's Lament says, last Christmas I was in Tijuana, and Mexican Santa was riding around town on a donkey yelling, ho ho hijo de puta, which I don't know what that translates to. Great holiday vacation spot. You should visit. Yeah. No, I remember going to Mexico as a young man. Not as much in my recent years. Okay. Let's go ahead and see what have we done. I think it's time to put these cookies on a serving plate. They're lifting off pretty good, which is nice. Roast beef Christmas cookies. If you want to look at what we're shooting for, obviously these are Santa. Ours is based on the cat roast beef. Different. Okay, plus again, we don't have that professional photography that they use. I'm not sure what to do with this one. It's kind of not really fitting. But we can do it. Something like that. There we go. Henry's roast beef Christmas cookies, and we're going to try one now, and I'll bet they're going to be damn delicious. This guy doesn't have a nose, which is bothering me. It's sort of triggering some OCD that I've got, but we just fixed that. There you have it. Okay. Wow. There's one thing for sure. We've made a huge mess here. I'm going to close that door. Let's go ahead and bite into one of these. I'm going to take the one that looks shitty. Fucking delicious. I'm not just trying to toot my own horn, but this is fucking delicious. This is one of the best things I've ever made right here. Elois says, I think these cookies are a work of art. You should hang one on the fridge. Yeah, if I don't eat them all, because they're really delicious. Flug Mango has resubscribed. Thanks, Flug Mango. And JV's Tech cheered 420 bits. Amazing. Thank you, JV's Tech. Let's see if it passes the coffee test. This coffee's cold. Archmage Cal says that the painting is upside down, and he's absolutely right, or they're absolutely right. I don't know. But let's go ahead and change that. Sorry about that. This is a damn good cookie. Chatty Chocobo says, I need a good recipe to serve Christmas dinner so my wife will let me see the kids again after the Thanksgiving incident. Do you have any suggestions? Again, the way to a woman's stomach is through her heart. Limpy, I think you messed up. The picture looks wrong now. Yeah, we can never really figure out what that picture's, if it's upside down or not. I'll leave it up, Limpy, because if it is correct, the best way to do it is to balance out upside down versus straight. Hey Santa, which way is a painting supposed to be? Upside down or right side up? Santa is passed out on a gutter. It's Kate X says next stream do it sideways and everybody will be happy. Yeah, I think that we're gonna do that. Guys, I'm really enjoying this cookie. And it didn't come out looking so bad, all things considered. The roast beef Christmas cookie. I'm very proud of this one. It's in the Henry's Kitchen Cookbook, Volume 2. Of course, we were going for these, but these are Santa, so that's why they look a little different. But it's one damn good cookie. a little crumbly. Maybe I'll put this back. Well, maybe a good idea would be to close out with a song. Oh, maybe first I'll play a little bit of the game that my friend Mark Cohen created, the Henry's Kitchen game. It's based on a real incident when I had a lot of ants taking over my apartment in my kitchen, and I had to clean them up. And Mark thought that would be a great game, and it is. It's a pretty damn good game, and we keep adding to it. We've added the Onyo helm as a power-up that gets, I think, 5 times as many points, and a couple of other things. So let's see here. Let's pull up the game. There we go. Now, normally you'd see me up in the corner, but that's not going to happen right now. But I'm still here, guys. I'm just going to demonstrate here. Okay, so this is me. The idea is you want to stomp on the ants, but if you see a red ant, run, because those things, you only get 3 of them and then they kill you. There's some amazing high scores. I've never gotten past, I think it was about 50. But, oh, and I've been told, oh yeah, there we go. I got the power up, the Onyo helm. You want to rack up, I think it's only 5 seconds. Uh-oh, got my first red ant. Onyo helm, there we go. You got to rack them up. Ah, shit. This is probably the best game I've played yet. Oh, they're all coming for me, though. Ah. Now, I think somebody mentioned that if you look really closely at the counter, let's see. Wow, look at these scores. Kramik, 658. Sanus Florida Man, 466. You guys are real gamers. I don't even get 10% of some of these high scores. Poom, 422. Bach, 408. Debussy, a lot of classical composers, 405. Henry's Borpa Stew, 400. Mozart, 389. Henry's Balzac, I think that was a composer, 369. Henry's Toilet, 360. A lot of appliances. Henry's Boyfriend, 358. Henry's Famous Cum, 354. Preheated Ovary, 351. Moon's Bald, 349. And Help, 348. Let's play this again. I want to try to get better. Now, somebody said that if you look really closely, you should be able to see roast beef on the counter. But I don't see them. But I can't be looking at that. Oh, I already got one. Onyo helm. Does anybody see roast beef on the counter? Oh, there we go. We're already on track to do better. Oh, Onyo helm. If you want to play the game, it's markcohen.com/ants. Oh, markcohen.net/ants. Kramik with 658. Unbelievable. There you go. Well, you guys, I don't know how your Sunday is going to go, but I'm going to spend mine eating roast beef Christmas cookies. Holy shit, are these good. I think I'm really onto something with these. And I needed it. I needed a win. We've had some real bad ones recently. Archmage Kill says, ever since you gave the advice to become an alcoholic, my life has changed for the better. No more do I need to worry about rent or car insurance, as I don't have a house or a car anymore. Thanks again. That's very cool to hear. I'm glad that I could help you in any way. Why don't we close out with a song here? I'm going to see if I can find the lyrics for it online, even though it's a Jose Suicidio song, and most of those are not very popular. Christmas Suicidio. I'll put lyrics. There it is, yeah. It doesn't seem like Christmas anymore. Jose Suicidio lyrics. Here we go. I don't know who takes the time to put these things up there, but that's pretty cool. This is a song by the artist Jose Suicidio, and it's a Christmas ballad. And it's very touching, and I hope I do justice to it. Hello, help, help. Test. Sounds good. Here we go. There's a pile of untouched gifts underneath the Christmas tree. There's a cobweb on the mantle where your stocking used to be. As I sit here broken hearted, weeping 'neath the mistletoe, holding in my hand a ring that's made of 14-karat gold. And the puppy ate all of the sugar plums, and he threw up all over my lap. And I'm spending my Christmas Eve scooping up little pieces of sugar plum puppy crap. And there's a pile of unpaid collection notices scattered all over the floor. And it doesn't seem like Christmas anymore. There's a story in the news of a lady at the mall who was tragically trampled for some stupid hyped up doll. And there's an actor playing Santa for the children on his knee, making foolish empty promises he knows he'll never keep. But he has a flask full of whiskey that he keeps in his merry old sack, and he takes a little swig each time the manager turns his back, because Santa's nothing but an overweight, underpaid would-be thespian whore. It doesn't seem like Christmas anymore. Here we go. Oh, ho, 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 Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night, and to all go to hell. From the blood-curdling sound of the tired old songs to the ching, ching, cha-ching of the cash register bell, tell him Santa won't be coming to town, 'cause he's turned into an emotional wreck. From the ungrateful little bastards that sit on his lap to the blood-sucking parents that sign all his checks, Christmas is nothing but a big pile of corporate dog shit tied up in a ribbon and wrapped up in Yuletide decor. And it doesn't seem like Christmas anymore. The children are screaming and fighting while the radio plays Kenny G. And the Walmart looks like a battlefield, and the Christmas trees are covered in pee. And Perry and Bing have the gall to sing of the golden days of yore, when it doesn't feel like Christmas anymore. at the end. That was it, but yeah. Dickle Chips is right. Sticking it to Big Christmas. Sure, Jose Suicidio is not the first to do that, and he probably won't be the last. But anyway, oh, we were gonna try. There was a request earlier for a song. Crazy little thing called love. I'll try it. I remember the song. Probably could use something a little up-tempo. Song written by Freddie Mercury from the band Queen. Or maybe it's written by all of Queen, I'm not sure, but it was definitely sung by Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury was a great vocalist. A vocalist is a singer. A singer is someone who is the person who makes note noises with their vocal cords. All right, so let's go ahead and see what we can do here. This thing called love, I can't handle it. This thing called love, I must get around to it. Ain't ready. Crazy little thing called love. I'm not doing a good job. This thing called love, it cries, and then I cannot lie. This thing, it drives. Shakes all over like a jellyfish, you kinda like it. Crazy little thing called love. There goes my baby. She knows how to rock and roll, she drives me crazy. Hot cold fever, burning in a cool, cool sweat. I gotta be cool, relax, get up. Get on my tracks, take a backseat, hitchhike. Get along right on the motorbike till I'm ready. Crazy little thing called love. That wasn't very good, but that was the best that I could do. Freezy Frog says, very brave of you to cover this one. Yeah, anything by Freddie Mercury is very, very difficult. I wouldn't call it bravery. I would call it just not caring anymore. People put these videos on YouTube and they're there for all of the rest of human history, and it's me fucking up a song, and that's the kind of thing that 10 years ago I would have found very mortifying and embarrassing, but I don't really care anymore about much. But let's go ahead and do, I'm going to leave you with this song. This is a song here, beautiful song, written by Mel Torme. It's a Christmas song. It's called the Christmas song. Some of you guys might know it as Chestnuts Toasting, but I'm going to leave you with this song as we get into the Christmas spirit. I know that my cat roast beef is getting in there with the stocking. We're getting there, guys. We've got beautiful roast beef cookies. We're getting into the Christmas spirit here. And we're going to do this little song. I mean, most Christmas songs are basically just listing Christmas things, you know. Christmas trees and mistletoe. Everywhere people are singing Christmas carols. Sleigh bells and reindeer and mistletoe. That's pretty much all Christmas songs. You're just listing things, and this is definitely no exception. But it's a good song, and it was sung by Nat King Cole. And we're going to do the best that we can. My eyes are getting worse and worse, and even with my big monitor, I can't really see the lyrics, but I'm going to do the best that I can. Chestnuts toasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping on your toes, tiny tots all alone by the fire, and folks fall down like dominoes. Everybody knows that turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aflame make it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his sleigh, and he's got lots of little boys and girls to play, and every mother's child and sister too is gonna see if reindeers really know what to do. And so I'm offering this one-time deal. Kids from 1 to 93, tiny tots being hung by the fire. Merry Christmas to me. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We made a good dish today. I'm going to enjoy my coffee and have a couple more of these delicious cookies. The Christmas roast beef cookies made in honor of my cat, Roast Beef, who's been very cooperative throughout this whole ordeal. So, thanks, everyone, and I hope to see you on the Discord. Go ahead and request some more songs. I always like seeing, and I know I'm back on a couple of them. I want to tell Hacklin that I'm gonna do that song that you keep on requesting, but it's just it's a lot of memorization. So it's on my bucket list now. There was also the song "Angelus" by Elliott Smith. Someone requested. I'm getting to that one as well. So that's a beautiful song. Thanks, everyone. Dr. Terror House of Horror, thank you for a great stream, Henry. Thank you. Thanks, Dr. Terror House of Horror. I really appreciate that. That's good to hear. And let's all try to have a good rest of our weekend, or sleep well if you're out there in Europe, and or wherever you are, whatever time it is. I hope you're being good to yourself, and every now and then you're going to cook something good, and you're going to feel good about yourself. And that's what happened to me today, and I needed it. So, thanks, everybody, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or night.